Welcome to another video by Pharos Technology. Today we want to handle a few different computational errors that can arise as you try to embellish and add to your data to develop reports and such. And so the first thing I want to do is open up an Access database, and here I have a table that is filled in with 4 records. Now, widget 1 has all the data filled in. It should be no problem. It's got a cost, quantity in stock, quantity on order, total sales, and the number sold. We're good. But you can see I've put in various difficulties with the others. Like, for example, widget 2 is missing the quantity in stock, and it has a 0 for the number sold, even though it has total sales of $15. Widget 3 is missing the quantity on order. Okay, maybe there is 0 quantity on order. I would have to assume there's 0 quantity in order since it's not filled in. Widget 4 is missing its cost, but it has 60 in stock, but I can't imagine we got those for free. So what we want to do is we want to put the formulas in there to fill in how much the value is that we have in stock, what's the value that we have on order, and what is the average total sale of any one item that we've sold in the past from our number sold column. Now, in doing that, I've built a query that has the basic formulas in it. And so I'm going to put this in design view, show that to you. And so here I want the total value in stock. So I've taken cost times the quantity in stock. And the next one over here is I've inserted a value on order, which is cost times quantity on order. Pretty simple stuff here. And then my average cost, instead of using the average function, which I could have done average on the total sales, I've decided to take average total sales divided by the number sold, just to show the error that you can get when you have a 0 number sold and how to deal then with that divide by 0 situation. So I've got total sales divided by the number sold. And when we run this, we can see that we're just getting blanks here where there's no data in quantity in stock. We get nothing here. We've got 60 in stock, but we get nothing because widget 4 doesn't have a cost. Over here, because we have 0 number sold, we have a divide by 0 error. Well, we sold $15 worth, but number sold 0. Okay, that is interesting, but still, we shouldn't present the user with a divide by 0. We should present something a little more elegant than that. So what we want to do is we want to clean up all those errors so that all of our formulas, value in stock, have all of the data filled in, and value on order has these 2 blank fields filled in, and then the average cost doesn't have any errors and it has all the fields filled in. And so we're going to use a couple different techniques to do this. And so I'm going to go here to design view and go to my first field here too. And the first ones are fairly easy to fix. If it's a null value, I want to use it in the formula. I would just want to use a 0. I'm going to assume that null means 0 in this case. And the NZ function, Nancy Zebra function, does this for me. It says null to 0. In other words, anytime I see a null, I'm going to present a 0 to whatever function or formula is being used. So NZ and open paren to go around my cost, and then NZ open paren and close paren to go around my quantity in stock. I'm going to do the same thing on the next field and just use that NZ because I really have the same situation on both. One is cost times on hand, the other one's cost times on order. So very similar situations there. So I'm going to go ahead and look at that first before I go on to that third field and see if I got information filled in. And yes, I did. Now, it doesn't go back and fill in the quantity in stock, but it does fill in the value in stock. It fills in our formula. We don't want to monkey really with the actual data. We want people to see that there's potential problems with the actual data and go find the error and fix it. At least that's the philosophy I generally take. Sometimes I have a user that says, fill it in anyway, even if it doesn't make sense. I kind of question that logic, but that's the user wanting to make sure that things are that way. Now, value on order didn't get filled in here. So I'm wondering, what was our situation with quantity on order? Maybe I didn't do the function correctly. Let's go back and check that one. And so here, I didn't put the second NZ on quantity on order. So I want to put NZ in here. Okay. And that ought to fix that one here. Okay, and it did. Alrighty. Now, how do we deal with all of these different situations? This one's a little bit trickier. So I'll go there and we will take a look. So here we have this, and the first thing I'm going to do is put NZ in case I have a blank value in there. And so we'll fill those in. Almost did the same mistake again. Okay, now that I've put NZ around them, I've got another problem that crops up in the respect that this, if it's not filled in, is going to give me a 0. And if there's a 0 in there, it's also going to give me a 0. So I've got two conditions to make sure that I capture. And I'm going to do that with a simple if statement here at the beginning of the field. So let me widen this out. And over here, I'm going to put the if statement in here, and that's IIF, remember. And I'm going to say if number sold, but I'm going to put N and Z, open paren, number sold, and close parenthesis, equals 0. Now, you notice what I did there. NZ number sold means that I'm going to return a value if it's there, okay? If there's a 0 there, I'm going to return the 0. If it's a null value, I'm going to return a 0. So if either of those conditions returns a 0, I'm going to then return an actual 0 in the formula, okay? Otherwise, if either one of those situations returns a 0, I'm just going to return a 0. Otherwise, if it's other than 0, I'm going to go ahead and perform the formula which was already there, and I put NZs in front of both of them to make sure that they worked. And I'm going to close paren on the if statement there, and that should not give me a syntax error. And let's go see if that worked. Okay, so over here, those situations worked. It got rid of my divide by 0, and it avoided the problem of a divide by 0 if it had a null value, as this widget 4 would have returned a 0 for the NZ function. And so I overcame that potential error both here and there and returned 0 in both situations. Now, there's obviously some issues with this. If we got $1,100 in sales, we obviously sold some of widget 4. Well, bad data is bad data. You need to go fix the bad data. It's not a problem with your formula, but you can put ways in your formula to make sure that data still flows through and you don't just present your users with errors. You present them with a more elegant response. Hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you again sometime. Thank you. Bye. If you enjoyed the content that you saw today and would like to help me grow the channel, hover your mouse over my picture to the left and click on subscribe. There are also other videos showing on the screen that you might enjoy.